Hello students. So today we'll continue lesson 6. So today we'll discuss the topic advantages of CSS. Now, the first advantage of the CSS is that the CSS saves times. And how the CSS saves times? So we can write the CSS code once and then attach the same sheet to multiple HTML pages. Means one time we have written the style sheet rules, and that style sheet you can use to display the content of the different HTML files. Now you can define a style for each HTML element and apply it as many web pages as you want. So you have written the style for for a HTML element, and that style you can apply it on the different web pages, on many web pages wherever you want. So this saves time. Second advantage of the CSS is that it pages download faster. So you download the page faster. So if you are using the CSS, you are not required to write the HTML tag attributes every time. So means the length of the code will be less. The size of the code will be small. So just write one CSS rule of a tag and apply it to all the occurrences of that tag. So less code means faster download of the web page. So that is the solution for increasing the downloading speed. Now, third advantage of the CSS is that easy maintenance. Yes, to make a global change where you need to make the changes in the style C, and all the elements in all the web pages will be updated automatically. So, if you want to make a change in the appearance in the presentation of the uh, content over the website, so now you no need to change the HTML files in the HTML file. Only we have to make the change in the CSS file in the presentation rule in the CSS rules, and after that all the changes will be updated automatically over the website. So that is the easy maintenance. Now next advantage is the superior styles to HTML. So CSS has a wide array of attributes than HTML. So in comparison to the attributes which is supported in the HTML code, in comparison to that CSS has a wide range of attributes. So many attributes are there in the CSS. So you can give a better look to your web page in comparison to the HTML attributes. Next is the multiple device compatibility. Style sheets allows the web pages to be optimized for more than one type of devices. Using CSS, the same HTML document can be presented in different viewing styles for different devices such as desktop, PDAs, and cell phones, etc. So with the help of the CSS, we can present the different web pages in different devices. Like you can present, you can open the web page in the desktop also, in the personal digital assistant PDF also, or the cell phone also. So that is the CSS of the multiple device compatible. Next is the global web standards. Another advantage is the global web standards. So the various HTML attributes are deprecated nowadays. So nowadays we various HTML attributes we are not using. Therefore, it is recommended to use the CSS because CSS designs are flexible and compatible with all the web browsers. So many HTML attributes are not supported by all the browsers. So it is better to use the CSS file for the presentation of the web page because these CSS codes are the CSS attributes are compatible for all the web browsers. Offline browsing. So CSS can store the web applications locally with the help of an offline cache, which ensures faster loading and better overall performance of the website. Using this, you can view the offline websites. So one thing also with help of the CSS, we can do the offline browsing. How this offline browsing is done? So this CSS code store the web applications locally with the help of an offline cache. Cache is storage, memory storage, and this is the fastest memory storage. So in the cache, the codes, HTML code, CSS code is stored and which ensures the faster loading. So if anything is stored in the cache memory, so to access the content of the cache memory, it takes a very less time. So but the execution will be very faster. So the file will load very faster and better overall performance to the website. So using this, we can view the websites offline also after downloading. Okay. And after that, the disadvantages of the CSS. So what are the disadvantages? In spite of being an easy and effective technology to manipulate the aesthetic aspects of a web page, CSS has its own limitations which are followed. So yes, CSS is a very easy and effective technology. Uh, so it's many advantages, but beside that, advantages and disadvantages are also. It has some limitations also, and we cannot ignore its negative side also. Now see, what are the disadvantages? Inconsistent browser support. That is the different browsers have distinct levels of compliance with the CSS. That is, some features are supported while some are not. That is also the problem. So all the browsers are not supporting the all the attributes of the CSS. That is the inconsistent browser support. Therefore, it is a challenge for a developers to check the compatibility of the CSS with the different browsers before finally launching a website. Now, suppose if any website you created with the help of the CSS, now you have before launching the website, you have to check it that whatever the codes you have used, whatever the attributes you have used, is all that attributes is supported by the all the browsers, means popular browsers or not. For example, Internet Explorer and Mozilla Firefox react differently to CSS. So, if the same CSS code, CSS file you execute with the help of these two different browsers, Internet Explorer and Mozilla Firefox, you will get the different output. Second disadvantage is the restricted backgrounds per element. So with CSS, you cannot specify more than one background images for each element. So if for each element, suppose you have set the background for the table, so you cannot set the more than one background image for each table. For one table, you cannot set more than one background for this one element. That is the limitation. Now the lack of variables. A CSS is not designed as a programming language. So you cannot define the variables in the CSS. You cannot define the functions or perform any arithmetic and logical operation in it. So to apply these functions and variables and logical operations in the website, so that's why we use the scripting language JavaScript, and this makes the website the dynamic. That is called the DHTML. Now, when a developer wants to change a fundamental constant, such as the color of an object, its height or width, the developer has to replace everything. So, if any object color if you want to, height or width you want to change, so you have to replace the everything. Next is the security threat. Since CSS is an open text-based system, without any built-in security, anyone having access to the website may deliberately or accidentally alter the links or distance formatting. Yes. So this is the open text-based system. You can see the CSS files, and there you can make the changes also. So if you make the changes, modify it, so your website will react. If you next time if you open the website, it will behave according to the changes you have done. Another disadvantage is the vertical control limitation. So vertical limitations and column declarations may be the problematic here. So see what are these the vertical limitation and the column declaration. Example, to center an element vertically, developers must write complicated style rules. So if you want to center a element vertically, so we write the complicated style rules or write the simple rules that would not be widely supported. Multiple column layouts may also be difficult to implement, and the effect can also be completed, can only be completed by using the floating elements. So if there are the multiple column layouts are there, so different columns design is there, so it is difficult to implement, and the effect can be completed by using the floating elements only. You can do that. Now next is the what cascading implies. What is the meaning of the cascading? So cascading means the hierarchical order in which the different style sheets types are arranged. So there is the hierarchy of that which I have discussed in the earlier, that this CSS style boost can be written in three ways: external style sheet, internal style sheet, or inline style sheet. So in this cascading, we will study the hierarchical order. So that the latest style sheet takes the presidency of the earlier ones. In the example given below, the first definition specifying the paragraph color as red. Here you can see the style. Paragraph element is selected and its color should be red. Style close. Second style, paragraph color blue. Style close. Third paragraph color green. Style close. So the last definition takes the presidency above the other two. So the last definition will be taken, and the other two will be first two will be ignored. So your paragraph will be presented in the green color. That is the hierarchical order. So here in the you can see the definition at the bottom will take the presidency and the paragraph will appear in the green color. As you can see here also, the for the paragraph element, three style sheets rules are written, three style rules are written, but the bottom one will got the priority. So the paragraph will be presented in the green color, as you can see in the output also. So this is all for the today, students. In the next class we will continue this lesson CSS. Thank you for your kind attention.